Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Now, it has been ages since I've said this. It's probably been around 4 years since I've last uploaded anything to do with model aviation, or in general. It has probably been a good while since I've actually last posted on YouTube. So today it's going to be the start of at least trying to come back into the swing of things on here. But anyway, today's video is an unboxing. I'll get more into the details about why I haven't been posting in a separate video, which should be up soon, in the not so distant future, I don't know. But yes, I've took the model out of this cardboard box, whatever it is, and yeah, we can basically get started. So in this video, it is an unboxing of this model right here, which is a Virgin Atlantic Airbus A350-1000, produced by NG Models. This particular one is G-VBOB, and it's from the recent batch of the Virgin A350 releases by NG Models, which I believe there was 3 or 4 made in the same batch. I'm not too sure, but anyway, this particular one is G-VBOB. So the box, it's nice. So at the front you've got Airbus A350-1000. You've got a photo of the aircraft. Same can be said for the side of the box. Basically the same story. It's a little basic, but it's neat. There's not too much on the box, which I like about this model. And at the back it's pretty much identical to the front, just apart from it's not got the titles. But anyway, it's about time we should open this model. So, just taking it out of the box. Here it is in this plastic cradle. Anyway, time to get it out. Just taking it out. And here is the model. So first impressions of this model is particularly good. I can't tell whether it is because of the lack of light in my room, or just because of the lamp just beside me. I can't exactly tell if the colour is correct on the model. However, from what I see, I think it's pretty good. One thing I will comment though is I don't think it's going to pick up on camera as much, but it looks really sort of sparkly, very shiny in fact. If you do see the Virgin Atlantic livery in person, particularly in sunlight, you will notice it does have a tendency to be really shiny, and you can notice it's a bit sparkly, which is really noticeable when the aircraft is in daylight with sunshine directly hitting off it. That's when it's pretty noticeable. If it's darker, however, let's say the sun isn't out or it's just a bit dull, then I think one thing with the Virgin Atlantic livery is that it looks darker than what it actually is. It's just a livery that it's hard for manufacturers such as NG Models, or maybe even Gemini Jets or Phoenix, to actually nail. So I think NG Models have actually done particularly a good job in this. But let's look at the details of this model. At the front of the aircraft, at the very top, those titles say Britain's flag carrier. Just underneath that you have the traditional Virgin Atlantic sort of, well, historically it's always been a woman at the front, but within recent years, particularly once receiving the Airbus A350s, Virgin Atlantic decided to change. Instead of just having females at the front of the aircraft, to actually have stuff such as men from maybe different ethnic backgrounds and stuff, to make the airline more diverse or whatever. But anyway, you have the aircraft name, Soul Rebel, just underneath it. On the nose wheel you've got the 2 last letters of the registration, the registration is G-VBOB. So you've got OB at the just at the nose wheel. The nose shape of the aircraft looks fairly good. The cockpit windows look pretty damn good. But moving on, you have the SkyTeam logo. Virgin Atlantic within the last few years officially joined SkyTeam. So lately they've been applying the SkyTeam logo on front of their the front door on their aircraft. Moving along, you've got the Virgin Atlantic titles. Just underneath the Virgin lettering, you've got Airbus A350-1000. Moving along, you've obviously got the engines. Landing gear, as you can probably tell, once the model has been rolling, it rolls really smoothly. Just towards the back, you've got the registration G-VBOB. It's not really in focus, but you have the winglet. The winglet shape looks fantastic. Moving along, you have the back of the aircraft. You've got the tail, and with obviously the Virgin Virgin logo at the back with the last two letters of the registration OB. That's the very back. It's hard to really see it, however, just to the inside of the winglets you do have the Virgin logo, and obviously the other side of the winglet on the model you obviously have it just in plain red. If it actually focuses, you can see that. So one thing you can generally see about the model is the detail on it's fantastic. The antennas and the Wi-Fi box are exactly where they should be, even at the underside of the aircraft, which we are now going to get onto. So here's a better view of the underside of the aircraft. As you can also see from earlier on, these wheels do in fact roll, and like I've commented earlier on, they're particularly smooth. It's really detailed at the back as well. Sorry, the underside of the aircraft. You have the Virgin Atlantic titles. You have the Virgin Atlantic titles at the front. You've got a stand hole in the middle of the aircraft if you want to display it on a stand. Aircraft registration G-VBOB. And apart from that, there's nothing much apart from details at the back, such as the door for the toilets to the toilet door for all the rubbish that comes out the back of the aircraft. But yeah. And just a quick one on the other side of the aircraft. On this side of the aircraft does obviously have the cargo doors at the front and towards the back of the aircraft. So the mould looks fantastic. I think out of NG, Phoenix and Gemini jets, of whose A350s I have, if I was to guess who was probably have got the best mould, I would probably go for the NG one. And I do have a Virgin Atlantic Airbus A350-1000 by Phoenix. I think this NG version is incredibly better than the Phoenix version. However, I did question at first, does the Virgin Atlantic titles at the front of the aircraft, is it spot on, or should the titles be slightly higher? I can't really tell. This might just be perfect, but then again, I might be over-analysing it. But it's a fantastic model. So, for example, here's a little comparison at the front of the aircraft between the NG models version and the Phoenix version of the Virgin Atlantic Airbus A350. In terms of the nose shape, I think NG is better. I think on the Phoenix version the nose looks a bit, it's hard to really describe. I'd say it's probably looking a bit more fat. However, I think Phoenix overall, in terms of the quality of the details and the font size on the prints of the model, I think theirs looks better. I think maybe on the NG version, I think the titles look a little bit too bold. But that might be a preference thing. And I can't exactly tell if obviously the Virgin Atlantic logos are too they're too low or too high, but I'll compare the nose to this, and just at the back I've actually conveniently got a Gemini Jets version of an A350. So on this one, I'd say again NG's got it probably better at the front, but there's obviously some noticeable differences, so please do let me know, out of the A350 models, what one is your favourite? What mould is your favourite even? I'll personally say the NG is probably my favourite mould, but you know, it might be a preference thing, I'm not particularly too sure. So with that, that does conclude today's model review and unboxing of this Virgin Atlantic Airbus A350-1000 produced by NG Models. Now, I'm not going to dive into too much detail as to why I've not been uploading, but part of the reason is the motivation just hasn't been there to do it, and my interests have been elsewhere with the aviation photography side of the sort of hobby, and plus when I was doing these 4 years ago, these videos, I was younger, I was 14 at the time, so getting access to these models were a lot more difficult because obviously I didn't have a lot of money back then. It was just from either gifts or just you get money at Christmas and that sort of, you've got a limited select of models you actually can choose. But now that I'm a little bit older, I can be able to possibly make a return to doing these model stuff. So I hope you have enjoyed, and I'm not asking you to subscribe, but if you have enjoyed today's video, it'd be nice to see you back again on the channel. And I just want to see who's actually really still watching these type of content. If there's any new faces, at all, welcome to the channel. But thanks for watching today's video. I do hope you've enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you again in a future video. Until then, take care, stay safe, and goodbye.